Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Africa. Wherever you are, thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of Afri+CAN. Now, for those of you who are joining us today for the first time, this is the platform where we talk about media and film related issues with regards to Africa. So we are talking about production, we're talking about distribution, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about training, we're talking about policy making, and so you can imagine how many people, professionals that are in this industry, and I am so fortunate enough to be able to bring this show to you live here on YouTube, on Afri+CAN, on Facebook Live. I hope you're watching us. I hope you continue watching us. I hope you will share your thoughts, your suggestions, your comments, your ideas. The WhatsApp number is right there at the bottom of your screen. Please send us your messages and also spread the love, right? You know, the hashtag Afri+CAN and hashtag Afri+CAN podcast. My name is Wageshi Murage, and I've got another exciting guest that I have known. Gosh, I don't even remember the last time I met, but you know what? Let's just dive right into it. Her name is Mona Ombogo.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wageshi.
so lovely to see you
I'm
again.
happy to be here.
Wow. Okay. So before you introduce yourself, when did we first met in 2007?
No, I think it was 2011
No.
on Changes. Had we met before that?
But Changes was in 2008.
No.
Yes.
Season 1, but I came in season 2, which was 2011.
Okay.
2010.
No, but
2010.
Okay.
Yes.
But before that, there's a film, because you had just relocated back from
Yes.
Canada.
Yes.
And you had come with a film.
Unseen, unsung, unforgotten.
Exactly,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, life
That's
is long.
when we met.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Yes. We started talking about the film.
That's true.
And I'm like, yes. And I think I don't know if I was on TV then at the time, I interviewed you or something, but that's where the conversation
Oh my
started.
gosh. I
So when
forgot
we
about-
actually,
I remember
yes.
now.
You remember?
I remember now.
So
Yes.
even before Changes, we
Yeah.
had already met and had a discussion.
I think I remember you from Changes because we did
Yeah.
Changes for so long, and we were in the
Yes.
trenches together.
Yes, that's right.
So
Yeah,
a
you
lot of
gotta
learning
start from
changes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my goodness, so nice to see you
Me
again.
too.
I'm just excited because I haven't seen her in quite a number of years.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. You know, in our industry, you part ways for a minute and then you come back
And
again.
it's like you never. It's like you
It's
never
like-
left.
exactly.
It's like you just pick up where you left off.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But now I know you. They don't know you. So who's Mona?
Wow, that's always a question that stumbles me. It's like, what part? What part? So
Everything, all the parts, family background, education, marital status, you know,
let's underline that one.
everything, yes, everything that you want to share. Yeah.
So professionally,
Yeah.
I'm a scriptwriter and an author.
Award winning.
I keep forgetting to say that.
Yes, award winning. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
the award was for Women in Film
Yes.
Awards
Yeah.
2023. Small funny story because I had been nominated 4 times. And I didn't win the first 3 times.
Yeah.
And you know how these awards are. They're
Yeah,
expensive
yes,
as hell.
yeah.
You dress, you do your makeup,
Yeah.
and then you,
promote,
show,
you push yourself, you know, vote for me, vote for me.
You know, you're there like hawking for votes. And then you go and you don't win.
Yeah.
So I said,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to come for this one.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like,
It's
what are the
too
chances
late.
of me winning? Slim to nil. And then I had another function. So I decided to go for that function
Right.
instead.
Right.
Shock on me.
Mhm.
As I'm at this function, messages start coming in. Congratulations. It's like, oh my gosh. I actually won.
I ditched the function that I should have been at.
I actually won. Yeah, so I think now
Wow.
I have to remember because I think I've been nominated for so long and I
Yeah.
haven't been an award winning anything. I mean, like officially for so long.
Yeah,
So I keep forgetting
yeah.
to say it. So yes.
Well, it was
award
truly
winning.
well deserved.
Thank you.
That's without a doubt. I
Thank
mean, I've worked with you in your career as a writer, and your work is amazing, you know.
you.
And you've also worked. We'll circle back to that
Yeah.
with also very, very well-known brands
Yes.
where Mona has written.
Yes.
So it's truly well deserved.
Yeah, thank
and there are
you.
many more to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
scriptwriter for TV
Yeah.
and film.
Yeah.
And I'm also an author. So I always tell people the weird thing about me when I write for TV and film, I'll do the darker, the thrillers, the crime. But when I do books, I do romance. I'm talking about like ish 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Ish.
I've read your book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
Remember
then,
the title again?
V
I
for
forgot
Visa.
to bring
So
the
it's a Visa series.
Yes, about
Yeah,
I
so
loved
there's
it.
3 books.
Beautiful story.
Yeah, there's 3 books so far, and one is coming out when I finish it. But July, it should be around July that the 4th one is coming out. It's a series, so it's continuous.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can somebody get access to your books?
Amazon. So they're
Okay.
available on Amazon in
Alright.
print and ebooks as well. I'm really trying to get Kenyans to move to ebooks. And do you know why? And people ask me why. I say because that's the only way we can really market ourselves internationally. Because Amazon is not here, right? So if most of
But
my
it's
Kenyan,
online.
it's online,
like
yes,
eBay.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
great for the ebooks because it doesn't
Yeah.
cost you anything.
Yeah.
But if you're ordering a hard copy online, most people are going to shy away from that because of the shipping. They'll ship it,
Right,
but you'll pay
right,
about
right.
the same as the book. So Kenyans
Right.
insist on hard copies, which means I'll print them here and I'll sell them. But Amazon doesn't know that, or New York best-selling, Times.
Right,
They don't know
right.
that.
Yeah.
So we're making a lot of sales that the world is not seeing because we don't have that system to show that the books have been bought. If, however, you're buying it off Amazon
Yeah.
or off anything, any standard book
Yeah.
selling, whether it's Barnes and Noble or whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's logged.
Then it right.
Yeah.
So it's easy to kind of like manage, like you've got your own accounting.
Exactly.
You know.
And they'll account it for you.
So you want to migrate to ebooks,
Yes.
not hard copy.
Yes. Until
Yeah.
people like the Amazons, the Barnes and Nobles are here physically. I mean, we have like the textbook
Right,
centers and
right.
everything,
Yes,
but then
yeah.
it's not quite the same because of traffic wise, and Kenyans who buy physical books also are very self-help books, which I love.
Yeah,
So you can get amazing
yeah.
self-help books at the textbook centers and everything.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fiction, it's almost like you have to find the reader.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
The reader
yes,
will
yes.
hardly ever walk in
Yes,
and say,
yes.
oh yeah, let me buy this fiction book.
Yeah,
So you kind of like
absolutely.
have to find them. So
It's like almost like with VOD now, video on
yes,
demand.
yes,
People now, viewers, audiences like myself, we are the ones to find you.
Yes.
You know, what are you showing me? Is it romance? Is it dark humor? Is it,
Yeah.
and then I decide, or comedy. Then I decide where it is that I
Yeah.
want to be and who
Yeah.
how I want to. Okay, yeah, no, I get. What got you interested in writing? I mean, how did it start?
So I've written all my life. My mom always says I started writing when I was 2, but she means like scribbling,
not ABCD?
obviously. No, I was writing novels at the age of 2.
For real?
No.
Oh.
But my first...
I had bought it, by the
You're
way.
like,
Oh yes, I was like, really?
No, but my first novel actually I wrote when I was 9. I thought it was like, in my head, it felt like it was a 200-page novel.
Yeah.
It was actually probably like 5 pages of a
Okay.
complete story, but I was so proud of it.
For a 9-year-old,
Yeah.
5 pages is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. That
Yeah.
was my first novel. So I've always written. And then my friend and I used to write a lot when we were in high school. So
Yeah.
she'd write her book, I'd write mine, and then we'd switch. So that was also something that we did. And then my sister, because at that point we were doing handwritten books. So my sister, Emma, who calls herself my number 1 fan.
Yes, Emma.
So,
that's
yes, you know
right.
Emma.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
In fact, I think I even met Emma before you.
Yeah. Really?
I think so. I think so.
That would be interesting.
But
We'll investigate.
We'll investigate,
Yeah.
But I think, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, actually, she introduced you to me or me to you.
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
Because
alright.
she's not in the industry.
Okay.
But-
All right. Okay.
Maybe Tandy, the others. Okay. We'll
Okay.
investigate.
All right. Yeah. You see. Yeah.
I know where
Okay.
you're coming from. We'll investigate.
Okay.
We'll investigate. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so I used to dictate the books to her and she'd write the story, handwritten.
Okay.
And then anytime when the book went in a direction that she didn't want, she'd stop writing and take the book and
And throw it
walk
away.
out. No, she'd walk out with it.
Okay.
So I can't continue the story because she has it and she doesn't
right.
agree with where.
Right.
Yeah, so I've always been writing. But commercially, 2010.
Oh, good for you, Emma. Thank you. You taught her well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from 9 years, so since then you've been writing all this time, different works of fiction, different genres. But you mentioned that when you are writing for a book, you usually do more romance. But
Yeah.
when you're writing for TV or fiction, it's more of like dark kind of humor or something. How do you
How do
separate
I
that? Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I think for books, Books, you can do whatever you want, right? It's a book, you're the one who's going to write it, and then you'll sell it. So it doesn't really depend on anybody but you. So I just love writing romance, but you won't always have the space to tell romance on TV or film, especially in Kenya, in our current industry, because we like the more, I say serious, but romance is serious. We like the most serious.
Did you answer the question I asked?
Which one? Marital status. No, we'll get there.
Okay, because then maybe we can understand what she means when it comes to romance.
I don't want to jinx myself and say those who can't. What's that? Those who can't teach. But I don't want to.
Okay, all right.
And say that, but yeah. So I think romance. When I write the books, it's just me pouring out myself naturally. So romance, love, it comes to me naturally, and I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
And romance is the easiest thing to sell when it comes to books. It's like the biggest selling.
Right.
Yeah, so romance and fantasy. I do fantasy as well.
Yes.
I love magic and... Yeah, but when it comes to TV, now you're writing more for... Either you'll be commissioned to do it by somebody, or somebody has told us that Africans, if you don't see a gun somewhere or a crime, I don't know
then
what it is.
We are not in Africa.
Yeah, then we're not in Africa.
And then you need to be in like Somalia or somewhere.
And not even that. Even the streets of Nairobi now. Like... so many of our shows, if you watch them, there will be crime attached to the shows. It's interesting and it's intriguing, but it's very difficult to find a romance that's just a romance. Even on TV.
Yes.
Our TV.
Our stories.
Yes. Even if it's a telenovela, which in the outside world, telenovela is lent to what? Love and romance.
Yes, absolutely.
We bring it here. We're like, okay, there's a love and romance. Throw in a gun. I'm not criticizing. It's true. I'm not criticizing. It's just that's how we told our stories so far.
Yeah.
Right?
So then is it that because TV, most of the writers, at least with the trend, and having been, even while commissioning you, we kind of like dictate what it is that we want, like for our audiences.
Yes.
So is that something then that makes you write then towards that direction?
Yes.
Not that necessarily that is what will sell.
But true. However, I feel like by the time, like you're saying, we worked, you commissioned me. We did changes back in the day.
Yes.
But by the time you're saying, Mona, we want a show that's about this gang that lives here and the guy falls in love, it's because you have ideally studied your audience and that's what the audience wants, right?
Is that true though?
I mean, well...
Is that really... No, let's be honest about it. Do we really know what their audience wants? And how do we know that is what they want? Because I have been trying to get research on what the audience needs, even for this podcast. Actually, this is part of my research to see what do people want to know, what do they want to talk about, what information do they need, or do they just want to laugh, or cry, or fall in love, But I've never really found any tangible source where I can say yes. This one, I think, really truly understands the audience that I'm looking at or looking for. Is that the same in your situation? Because I'm still struggling with it, even as I was commissioning.
Yeah. You're like, what exactly?
I was like, I mean, really, is it about drugs? Is it about crime? Is it about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, everybody says Kenya is a tough market to crack, and it has been for even a lot of the broadcasters or the platforms, the Netflixes and the Mnet. It's a difficult market. However, I think if we break all those things, the thing that sells is a human story that people can identify with. And it doesn't matter what that human story is doing. It could be talking about people who go to space and fake going to space. If I can identify with them, I'm going to come and watch it. But I think what happens in Kenya, what has happened, you're going to have a big hit, right? Of a movie that's maybe about gangs. And maybe that's like the first movie that really hit. Let me use like Nairobi Half-Life. Brilliant movie. Yeah. One of the first movies that really hit and, it blew
even
sales.
To date.
Even to date, right? Yeah. So because this movie comes and it hits, and then, so the people who are commissioning are like, okay, this one had a gang and it had guns. So that must be what the audience is looking for. So it could be true that the audience is looking for something like that. But it could also be true that because it was so brilliantly done, the audience went and watched it. And this same audience could watch a romance that is brilliantly done. But you see, our industry is expensive. So nobody wants to... Shooting anything is expensive.
Okay.
So nobody wants to go and risk
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Nairobi Half-Life came out. It was a hit.
Yeah.
Everybody went to see it. I know. I'll do a romantic drama.
Yes.
I'm like, no. I want to do this one. Crime.
Change direction.
Yeah, I want to do this one because
Yeah.
this is the one that hits. So I think we suffer from that. But what I like about the Kenyan audience is that we are ever evolving and we are very vocal. And I just think if we take more time to listen to what people are saying, we can evolve with them. I'll give you another example, Disconnect.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's a love story.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful
that's
story.
come out, beautiful
Yes,
story, and people love it.
Yeah.
Now people are going to be, I've just named 2 of Tosh's shows.
Yes, I know.
I'm sure wherever he
well,
is,
it's because
like,
he's doing a brilliant job.
Yeah.
They're doing amazing work. Film
Yeah.
crew in Africa, right?
Well, he was
Amazing.
with them, but now
Yeah.
he's with Primary Pictures. So,
Oh,
so it's like 2 different. They still work together, but
Okay.
now Primary Pictures focuses more on
Right.
fiction.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So
I
yeah, and Tosh and I work a lot together. There's some good stuff that's coming out.
Oh, can you share?
I think I can because I've seen it on Facebook.
Okay.
So I think I can. Tosh, I'm sorry.
No, I'll bring Tosh.
You'll bring Tosh.
Actually, I have Ezekiel, his partner,
Yeah?
coming in for my next show.
There we
yes,
go.
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe he'll share the information with me.
Yeah.
But I'm most definitely going to
Yeah.
bring Tosh on board. But yes, please
Yes,
do
the
share
one that
because I
is,
haven't seen anything.
The one that it's coming out, I don't know exactly when, but it's called Volume. And I think this is going to be a really good one. We loved the story.
Okay.
It was created by Tosh and Jiri Karago.
Right.
But then
right.
I've come on as and it's walked a journey. So there's been different people working on it at different times. It's walked a journey.
Is it a film or a series?
It's a series.
Okay.
It's a series.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the only thing I'll say,
Yeah.
it's about a young boy that's trying to get into the music industry.
Oh.
And so we follow that it's a 4-part, and it's got
Oh.
everything for me. It's got love,
But still focused on this one young boy, not 4 young boys.
one young.
So
I mean,
just
it's,
one all through. Across
He's
the
the
4.
main character,
Okay,
yeah, across
alright,
the 4.
okay,
But then of
okay.
course he has his supporting cast.
Volume.
Yeah, it's called Volume.
Might you know where it might be showing, or has that not been announced yet? I don't want you to reveal secrets.
Do you know what? No,
that
it
maybe-
has. Again, I saw
Okay.
this. It has. So I'm gonna say it should be coming on Netflix.
Awesome. All
Yes,
right.
Yes,
Okay,
because I've
great.
seen it. I've seen them. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
looking forward to it.
Yes,
you
that
said
would
in a
be a
couple of months,
great
like in
one.
about 2 months or so.
More like 3, 4. I want to say more
Okay.
like 3, but I don't have the definite time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have
That's
the definite
cool.
time for that.
I want to go back to something that you said because you were talking about Kenyan audiences specifically with regards to what it is that maybe they gravitate to in terms of watching, and even the content producers themselves. You know, once they see this one has done a gang story, as you've said, then the next one also says, I also want to do a gang
Yeah.
story. But would you say that is the same for Africa? Because here, Media Pros Africa, we are basically looking at Africa, not specifically narrowing it down to Kenya. Would you say that is also the case across the continent?
In terms of producers and audiences going towards the same thing?
Exactly.
So, I was recently a part of, I was one of the readers for, I won't say what, but it was a
Okay.
competition,
Okay.
an African-wide competition.
Right.
And what we realized was the different audiences in the different countries submit very different scripts. South Africa had a lot of violence and gender-based violence and women trying to be heard.
Okay.
And that kind of like surprised me of, yes, we have those issues in Kenya, but not at the same degree.
Right.
And you could tell in South Africa there's a lot of anger from the women, and you could tell that in the
Oh,
scripts
okay.
that that were coming in.
Yeah.
Nigeria had a lot of fantasy, of course. Fantasy.
And
Yeah.
Nigerians, and they
and
dream,
their
and when they
fantasy.
dream big.
Yeah, they dream big. They
Yeah.
had a lot of fantasy, and they also had a lot of techno stuff. Young people doing a lot of
Innovations
innovations
and all that.
and-
Yes,
and-
yeah.
yeah, they had a lot of that in their stories, and going back, and for them they went like back to the 1800s, 1400s. Those kind of stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And Kenya was kind of all over the place. Like
Interesting.
there was no, and I don't
I'm
say
not
that in
sure
a
whether
negative
to-
way.
well,
But-
well,
There was no one thing that
Right.
Kenyan stories are about young boys trying to, grow and become men.
right.
There were so many different things in Kenya. We had fantasies, we had love stories, we
Right.
had crime stories, we had, so
Is that a good or a bad thing? Are we
I
maybe
think-
like casting, like doing too much or trying to do too much rather than
I think we're still trying to figure ourselves out in this country, and we've always talked about Kenyans. We don't really have a definite identity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. We tried coming up with remember the dress?
Oh my God, the uniform. No. One of our worst ideas.
And we could not settle on any. So yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
So in a way, it's a good thing, because once we get our act together and we zero down to telling a strong story, we will have multitude of stories that come out of this country. And that's why I go back for Kenya and really the world. It's about the human interest story.
That's right.
And there's so many stories that have not been told here yet, because we are relatively fresh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we zero down on human-based identity stories, I don't think it matters, again, whether he's holding a gun or a rose or chocolates or a magic wand.
But the stories, speaking for myself, I'm drawn more to stories that after I've watched, either I'm happy because it's a comedy, I've laughed, or maybe I have, I don't necessarily need to learn anything, really, but at least there has to be some emotion that needs to be evoked, whether it's hope, that, so Mona went through that too. Then maybe I can still keep going on this journey. Or maybe I was just happy, laughing, my ribs have been cracked, make my day. When writers, especially now talking to you as an accomplished writer,
award-winning.
No, you see, now she remembers. Now she remembers. Are these things considerations that you also have at the back of your mind, like what emotions you want to leave your audiences with, whether it's on a book or TV?
So usually the emotion will come by itself if you tell your story the right way. If you have built your characters as strong, believable characters that we identify with, and you've built your world as a real world that draws me into it, and you have your conflict of your story, what it is that your characters want and where your characters are going and what is standing in their way, you will never have to sit and say, in this scene, I know Angeshi is watching.
Yeah.
She better cry by the time I finish.
Really?
Right? You will not.
Okay.
But why will Angeshi cry at the end? Because I've painted a picture of this girl that all she wants is to be loved. And she finally thinks she's found love. And this guy is knocked down by a bus and he dies. You'll cry. Why? Because I have made you connect with this young girl. Let's call her Anne. Right?
Yes.
So that's what's going to make you cry. But if I am like, I feel like there's been no point for crying in this. Here, let me try and make it sad. That is when you get those annoying scenes of you don't believe why the character is doing what they're doing. Because why would you?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's really about building. There's no motivation.
Yeah.
And then now it annoys you and then it takes you out of the story. Because you
and
now
then you're
start...
like, oh, that script was crap.
Yeah, like, come on, guys. And you don't know how many times I yell at my screen, oh, come on. It's because of things like that. Or I'm texting my sister, like, have you seen this? Like, seriously, now these guys think we're stupid.
Yeah.
So you never ever want to say, I want people to feel a certain way. The only thing that will really drive to that, I mean, of course, there's rules, right? Yes. If you're going to do a horror, we better be scared. But you're not going to say, this is the scene where she must scream. Yeah. Right? It has to be, and even if it is, it has to go with the story that you're telling. It has to be true to the story. Yeah. Comedies have different rules, because writing a comedy, they'll say after every 3 minutes you need to have like a joke, and then the joke has to climb, then the one where we're really laughing.
But it's different writing comedy for film and writing for a TV series, right?
Comedy.
Yes,
well, it depends.
Comedy as a genre, because for TV series, okay, let me mention Friends. My all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I laugh at every freaking line. All of them just are funny. I'm on the floor and I've watched it. I watch it like I binge watch.
Yeah,
I start. Oh, please start again with me. I'm back to season 1, and every time. In fact, nowadays I've watched it so many times that I actually recite the lines with them. I know them verbatim. When Monica is talking about this,
there was a time. Yeah, there was a time I did as well. Yeah.
So when it comes to like a particular genre, like comedy, TV series seems to have more like shorter punchlines, so to speak, as compared to film, right?
Yes. Because film comedy, a lot of it is every part that makes you laugh or that's comedic is it's an arc.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, he gets up out of bed, he steps on a banana peel, for instance.
Right.
He sleeps and he bangs his
Right,
head.
yeah.
But then that's not, the art is not about him stepping on that banana peel. It's
Yes.
about, maybe the point was he was trying to sneak out of this
What's
girl's
it building
bed.
up to?
Yes, what it's building up to.
Right,
So they have like
right.
bigger arcs.
Yes.
And then also on, I mean, it depends on whether it's a slapstick comedy film or if it's like a romantic comedy or a dramedy.
So slapstick is like TikTok?
No, slapstick
Kind
is
of,
like, I just want to make you laugh.
Yeah, so like
Is that
the short videos that we see like on TikTok.
Yeah, well, yes,
You know,
yes,
the 30
you're right.
second ones
You're
and
right.
all that,
That's
you know,
slapstick.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like slapstick, and the whole point of this thing, that
Yeah.
like you're saying for Friends, is for you to laugh from beginning to end. So there are those films that are just that.
Yeah.
But then if you're gonna do like a dramedy or a romantic, so you have the different parts where now it's, oh, this is so sweet, and oh my gosh, now this is hilarious, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have the different emotions for that.
So I tried to write.
Comedy.
No, just a story that I had in my head. I had this great idea, you know, that, and I really wanted to get it. I actually even pitched it to, I think it was Mnet's New Directions, way back when. I failed miserably. I tried again with another writing competition, and these ones, in fact, just did me the honor of not even responding at all.
Writing competition.
Yeah.
Which
so
one?
I don't remember. It was a while back. So that's when I knew you gotta quit while you're ahead. You know, you're not going anywhere. So how does somebody who has a passion or would love to become a writer and an award-winning writer, like Kamona, yeah, we have to keep mentioning that. How does somebody get started? Because people do have stories to tell, but they don't know how to. Or is it a passion? Is it training? How does it start?
So it's everything.
Okay.
It's a passion, it's a talent,
Yeah.
it's training. I want to say the annoying thing that people always say, if you want to start writing, just start. Right?
Somebody said the same thing. I think it was Joki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like something Joki
Joki
would say.
Mohoho, yes,
Yeah.
also another writer.
It's like,
She did
just
say
start.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
in a very pragmatic way.
Yes. She's like, what are you waiting
Yeah,
for?
just
Yes.
do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Yeah, so just start. So
But there are like tools that you need.
There are.
I don't know, final draft and other screens to write.
There
you know?
are.
Yeah.
There are. So the good thing about this generation that we're in is everything is online. You can ask it anything and you'll get that resource. So there's like a whole process. There's a whole process for you for how to write. But the biggest thing is, what are your ideas? So you'd start with that, you know.
Like, for example, I would really love to write, mother tongue superiority. Like my life journey,
Yeah.
especially my career.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to pen it down. I can write in prose,
Well, that's a
like
start.
a documentary.
That's a start.
But what if I want it to be a film?
Yeah. So you start with that. You start with, this is a story that I want to tell. And if you're green, and you have no idea how to go about it, then
You get a writer. You hire Mona.
you hire me to write it for you.
Okay.
You go online and you actually just type in how to write a film script. You'll get so much information. Right now, even for Kenyan writers specifically, Damaris Irungu, who's also one of the top writers in this country,
Yes,
she
is.
has a book, and it's on Amazon. You know,
Oh.
I think it's called Writing. Anyway, let me not butcher the title of her book.
Okay,
But
yes.
Damaris
Okay,
Irungu.
Damaris Irungu.
If
Yes,
you just
I
do that
know.
plus writing, she tells you from beginning, from concept, all the way.
This is
the
why
end.
Google is our friend,
Yes,
guys.
Google is
it's
our friend.
something that you can just check. Damaris Irungu.
Her novel is on Amazon right now, and I'm sure she's selling hard copies as
Okay.
well. Not novel, sorry, her book on writing.
Damaris Irungu.
Is it coming up?
Writing.
Writing, yeah.
Writing.
Yeah, it should come up. The title of the book. So there's so many resources just like that.
Let's get creating.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's
there
called.
We
You
go.
Chap,
There
chap.
we go.
Yes. Okay.
Damaris, send us
Great.
M-Pesa.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
yourself.
Send her.
M-Pesa.
She'll
To my
sambaza.
number. My number
Yeah.
is...
Okay, no, this is
Um,
great. Okay.
Yeah, so there's so many resources like that.
Yeah.
Because the thing about writing, the technical stuff you can learn,
Yeah.
but the passion
Yeah.
and the craft of building your characters and building your world, that is something that now you nurture. So for me, the technical stuff is great, but start with your characters. Right? Who are my characters? I want to tell the story about, like now for you, Wangeshi, you want to tell the story about your film.
Yeah.
So
she's already commissioned,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You say, who are the characters going to be? Say, oh
Right.
yeah, there is you,
My
there's that.
family.
Your family.
Yes.
Yeah, so the positive people. And then there's that one chick who told me, Wangeshi, you will never be
Make it
everything.
life. Oh, I can tell you right now.
Who she is.
Yes, who
right?
she is.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
So you put her there, and of course you're not gonna say her name was Mona. You're not
Yes.
gonna say Mona Ombogo.
Yes,
you
of
find
course, you'll
a
be
different-
defaming some.
Yeah, you call her
Yes,
like
yeah.
Rona Wambugu. You kind of like, no, I'm kidding. You twist it around.
That's funny.
And so you start from
Okay.
that truth, and then now you twist it to fit. Who are your friends who say the ones who really encouraged you when you would laugh yourself singing
Yeah.
on a Friday night, maybe, and this one like we're so stressed, we're gonna go and get high. You find a character from there,
Yeah.
right? So now you're
I
building
also
your
have
character.
those
You
ones
have those
too.
ones.
Yes, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
build that, and then now you build like what is it that you wanted when you started out? What did you want? I really wanted to be a producer. Or I wanted to do the best podcast Kenya has ever seen.
Right.
So like that's your arc, right? So your
Yes,
beginning
yes.
is you're this young lady who maybe you're an accountant and like this is not for me.
Yes.
But in the future you can see
that's what yes.
podcast.
Yeah.
So then you put your obstacles in between from here, from accountant to podcast.
Because nothing
The
ever
obstacles.
goes easy.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a straight line.
It's not a straight
it goes
line.
this way,
Exactly.
goes down again, plateaus,
Yes.
and all that. Yeah.
The central
We've
conflict.
been through that. Yes.
So all that. What's your central conflict? What's
Yeah.
the underlying conflicts? Maybe the other conflict is that you are married or you have a boyfriend who thought filmmakers are all stupid. For
Yes,
instance.
yes.
So he's standing. This is not true.
Are you already
I'm just
writing
saying.
my story? I feel like she's writing my story right now.
See? So that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come up with the story if you don't know what you're doing. Come up with the story first and decide what the story is. And then now you can go into the technicals of how do I do scenes,
Right,
how do I do
right.
dialogue,
And you're saying Damaris Irungu being one of them can help
Yes,
you
absolutely.
in this.
Yeah.
So online, so we can get training online.
Yes.
So we don't have to go to school, like attend a
don't.
class like.
You don't.
No?
It's
Okay.
great if you do, because then it's interactive and there's a professor or a lecturer or a film expert. It's great if you can.
Or a mentor.
Or a mentor. It's
Yeah.
great if you can.
Yeah.
But if you can't, sometimes you don't have the money. A lot of the time when
That's
people
true.
are starting, maybe you're
All the
19.
time.
Maybe you're 21.
Yeah.
But you can afford to buy. I swear, Damaris, you'll pay me. You can afford to buy
Okay.
Damaris's book.
Yes,
Or
yes,
follow,
yes.
because she also talks a lot about her stuff on
Okay,
her
her journey.
IG page.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you follow somebody like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I keep talking about it because I also had Jockey on a few weeks back, and she actually said the same thing that you're talking about. First of all, get started.
Yeah.
Just start.
Let's start.
And then see how to go about it, and then get information online,
Yeah.
or talk to the Monas or the Damarises, and then
Yes.
you just keep moving.
Yes. And writers are kind. And we're kind to... Okay, you've not met kind writers. Who are you? Why have you not called me?
Not to let me tell you why I'm sighing. Because I'm not, again, I won't mention names. There is a story that I was producing / directing. This was way back when. It had been written by this also very talented writer now.
Yeah.
But she was also getting started.
Yeah.
But I changed a couple of lines, a couple of things here and there, because even me, I was feeling, I was right. This is not the way I wanted to be.
You're the commissioning?
She took, yes. No, I wasn't the commissioning then. This was way back when I was just the producer and the director. But she really took it personally. That even changing dialogue, like to say, hey Mona, what's up? How you doing?
What was her role?
And then she was a writer. She was a creator. So I changed it to like,
Yeah.
And she's like,
How you do?
And she's like, that was not the intent. But I'm thinking as a producer, director, this is how I wanted to come up.
But she was starting out.
She was starting out fairly, yes.
Yeah. So a lot of writers when we're starting out, we're very precious with our ideas, because it's something that tells us, I will never do this great thing that I've done here again. When you are more mature as a writer, my job is a writer, yes?
Yeah.
I have written the script and I've given it to you. yes, I will follow through to ensure that the soul of what I have created remains, because
Yes.
either you commissioned me and that's what you asked for, or
Yes.
it's just my own thing and that's what I want.
Yeah.
But you learn not to be precious about the little tiny things, because if you do that, then that script will only be as great as you. So if I write a script and I give it to you and you must follow everything, that script will only be as great as me, and I'm not all that. I'm great, hallelujah,
Yes,
but
amen.
me and you together are greater. Me, you, and the
Right,
director are
right.
greater. Me, you, the director, and the actor are greater.
Okay.
So a great script is supposed to become better and better and better into post-production, because everybody is lending their genius to it.
So those writers who personalize and take it like it's, man,
Not
you
for a
can't
lie.
change even,
Yeah.
they're not.
If you switch
Yeah.
the scene, like, you
Yeah.
know, maybe the thing is it's supposed to be a death at the beginning,
Yeah.
and you switch it to a marriage proposal,
Yeah.
then maybe we have a problem, because you just killed the whole story. But there's some things that as a writer you must trust.
Yeah.
When we're doing
That's-
changes,
yes,
we
yes,
were green. And
yeah.
let me tell you, Angashi, we spent so much time on things that we did not have to. So she says, "Hi, mom, we will argue." Does she say, "Hi, mom," or
yeah.
"Hello, mother," or
That is
"Hello,
true. I remember.
mommy"?
Yes.
We will argue for 30 minutes about this one point, which then does not even make it to screen.
Yeah.
Because the thing started after she had already sat down.
Yeah.
30 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
That is
right?
true. I remember.
You remember that?
We went, yeah, we were at Margaret Kibe's
Yes,
place
Margaret
in
Kibe,
Gatondo.
yes.
Yes, when we used to have the screenwriting workshops and all that.
Yeah.
That is true. We would argue
Hey,
about such
small
a very
things. Is she
Yes.
wearing green earrings or blue ones?
That's
And
not
then
even your
wardrobe,
job.
yeah, wardrobe gives her like purple or no earrings at all.
Yeah.
And so you learn that as you. But I think it's
Okay.
important for writers to be picky at the beginning, because then
Yeah.
you grow that passion, but then you learn what you should hold on to
Yeah.
and what you should let go of.
Plus, maybe it also, maybe at the beginning, as you say, it kind of also helps you expound on your creativity.
Yes.
In terms of your mind. So it's not just about the story, it's about even the scene itself.
Exactly.
Like also if you were to be in a position like you're the director or the producer, how do you see this?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
playing about.
Yes.
But when it goes to set, as you say, it's important to get the director, the producer, the actor, wardrobe,
Art.
other,
Yes.
involved in
And
this.
the famous will fix it in post. So even the post
Oh
production.
gosh, I hate that line. I hate that line. I hate that line. We'll fix in post. No. There's nothing to fix in post at all. But also another thing is, which I find very interesting, is just in line with this, is at times a director or producer, they can kill the story.
Oh yes.
And this was also another complaint I received. I don't remember which production I had commissioned. And the writer was very upset because the minute the director decided to kill a scene, it
Changes the whole thing, yes. Totally.
The whole story.
Totally.
So it's important to have writers on
Yes.
set.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. And this is something that I feel.
Okay.
I love all my producers and directors. I love you all.
Yeah.
But this is also something that I feel this country we've not come to grips with. So
Yeah.
I was part of the Netflix Realness program last year.
Oh, cool.
And we had, no, it was awesome.
You
And we
see, now
had-
she's dropping names. Now she's
Dropping
dropping names,
you know.
yeah.
We talked to people like the guy who was one of the writers and directors of Blacklist and X-Files. And it was amazing.
Awesome.
Like sometimes you'd even forget to ask them questions because you're just so starstruck. You're just looking at
Right.
So one of the things they said, the lady who did Unorthodox, which was like this huge Netflix show across the world.
Yeah.
And she said one of the most important things you can do as a writer is to make sure that you're present when the story is being shot.
Yeah.
And she was saying a lot of the West gets it because they have showrunners, Shonda Rhimes, for instance.
Oh gosh,
Right?
I love her.
Yeah, so she's
Yes.
a showrunner. She's not directing it. She's not the one who's worried about wardrobe. I mean, the nitty-gritties.
Yes, yes.
But she's making sure that everything that's in the story is true when it comes out on scene.
Yeah.
So in this world, I think because of the money and starting out and the time, I'll want to send you my script, and then see now Njoki has asked me to do another script. So I guess she cheers.
Yeah.
Off I go to do. I finish Njoki's Tosh. Off I go.
Yeah.
So we're not following through. But what we should do,
Okay.
yeah.
It's like a factory.
It's like a factory send,
Yeah.
and I laugh at my
Very-
writers.
yeah.
Right now, I'm the head
Yeah.
writer on Salem, which is on
Oh, another
Showmax.
beautiful one.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's on
yes,
Showmax
yes.
and it's on Maisha Magic.
Yes.
And sometimes I tell my, and now I say it laughing, but then I'm stewing. It's 2 a.m. I'm editing the script. I'm like, sometimes I think you guys, you finish the minimal, right? And you say, Mona will fix it, send. and Mona fixes it. So I learned
Right.
if I don't involve them, like this season, I've started involving them
Okay.
and telling them, I'll ask you this, I screenshot it and send it to you.
Yes.
What is wrong with this? And then they
Okay.
start finding it. They start finding,
Who are you sending to now?
My
Your
writers.
co-writer. Okay.
yeah, because I'm the
Okay.
head writer, so I work with a team of 4.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and very brilliant writers, very young. They're
Awesome.
coming up, very brilliant.
Okay.
And I realized if I don't invest in these guys by helping them learn to invest in their process,
Yes.
they will never really improve.
That's
It's
true.
quicker for me to change it.
Yeah.
You know this, right?
Yes,
It's quicker
yes,
for
yeah,
me to
yeah.
change it. But they're not learning.
Even with your eyes shut.
Yeah, like just change it, just do it, do it, do it. It's quicker for me to do that, but I'm not
Yeah.
helping myself because I'll be changing 4 scripts and I'm not helping them because they're not growing.
Yeah.
But if I put myself in the thing and I screenshot it, and our scripts have become a million times better by the time they land on my desk, which means by the time I
less
send
work
them
for
off,
you.
yeah,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
Njoki or to
Yeah.
production, they've improved. By the time production does their thing,
Yeah.
they've improved.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, and
Yeah.
and big up to my team. I love them. They're awesome. I'm
Awesome.
tough
Well done, Sam.
sometimes on them, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
So same thing for writing. When we learn as producers and writers to invest in the process, it's not enough for me to just send the script to Tosh, good luck, son, and off I go.
Yeah.
I need to be present,
Right.
so that even as they're shooting and I can say, Tosh, this scene,
Yeah.
the way I'm seeing it,
yeah.
if we do it, I see what you're doing, but if you do it like this, it's not going to work.
Right.
Or he'll get a brilliant idea and ask, Mona, if we change
it-
this thing here
Yeah,
in episode 4, what's it going to affect? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's brilliant, let's do it. So that's a collaboration we need. I know it's money because as a writer, if I'm going to be on set for 30 days, someone needs to be paying for that,
That's the thing.
right?
That's the
Yeah,
thing,
and
yes.
if I'm not
it
being
all
paid-
comes down to the budget because once I have commissioned you, Mona, you've delivered your 12 episodes. Why can't I just say go bye sayonara?
Yeah, sayonara,
See you next. Yes, yeah. Now I take over.
Yeah, and there's a middle ground there, I think, for us also, to just be very conscious as producers or directors when that thing is being filmed. If something, we did this very well on Changes with Tosh, though we used to get on each other's nerves at some point. Woo! Yeah, but we worked very well together because he was always asking me, what are this thing? And he gets pissed off. This scene is like 10 pages long. Why is that necessary? Because, Mona! And then I look
But
at
you know,
it.
Toshi, then at that time he was like a young boy.
Yeah, he was
also
a
trying
young
to-
boy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I look at it, I'm like, yeah, he's right. So I
Yeah.
cross. Thank you. So
Yeah.
that kind of, we had it on Changes, and I've not seen it in a lot of other I mean, I've not been on set, but that kind of collaborative work,
Yeah.
you'll get on each other's nerves sometimes because everybody wants the story to happen.
And
we don't
everybody's
always see it.
passionate about their
Exactly.
profession. I want my camera, my picture to look good.
Yes.
So you take your
You
people
and your
and
story.
whatever. Yes.
Yeah, go over there.
Yes,
but
yes,
we need
yes.
to do more of that. So even if you can't afford to have that writer on set all the time,
Yeah.
you as a producer or director, if you're going to make a substantial change, and even now working with Tosh, we still really do this, he'll call me and he'll ask me, like, I need to change the scene because of A, B, C, D.
No, I think what we need to be saying, Mona, it's let's change the conversation. Let's change how
Yes.
things work. So now
Hallelujah.
when producers are budgeting,
Yeah.
they need to include a writer on set.
Yes. And it doesn't even
It doesn't have to be the
me.
exactly. It
Yes.
doesn't have to be the head writer. It
Yes.
could be the episode writer because I
Yes.
know at times Wageshi will write episode 1, Mona 2, Joy they are 3, whatever like that.
Yeah.
So, but at least have a writer on set
Yeah.
so that if a director has a question about something, or if maybe something falls through in production,
Yes.
the writer can say, okay, then
Yes.
this is how I can do it, and maybe even very quickly there. Here's your
Drop
new
scenes.
scene. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Or maybe even rewrite.
Yeah. And
Do a
Changes,
quick
we did
rewrite.
that. We did that.
Yeah.
We're running out
so
of
that's
time.
what
and
that's what we need to do.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Now, okay. Also, when it comes to that funding, what are the opportunities for writers when it comes to funding? Because I keep hearing there's production funding, or there's this or that, but I'm not sure. I've heard of writers' workshops,
Yeah.
but that's training.
Development, you're talking about
Development, yes. No, but
Yeah.
now I'm talking about funding. Like if I want to write a story and I don't have software, or I don't have a laptop, not really what is coming out of here, your Kyokos, but in terms of like tools and maybe even bringing together a team.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I'm very serious about my biography. I'm very serious, but I also want to do a film. I've been talking to Ashuka about that, by the way.
Oh,
The
nice.
guy, yes.
Yeah, Washuka.
I love
Washuka
her.
would
She's
be
got a wild sense of humor. I told her,
And
you're
you
going to write
have
this film
the
because I
same
want
kind of
comedy.
outlook.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, the dry, sometimes with
Yeah,
humor.
yeah. So I told her we
That
have
is,
to we
I
have
can
to
see
write a
what Shuka
comment,
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's brainstorming right now, and of course I've told her, the usual process. Give me your quotation. I'm waiting. But she's also been busy. Yes.
Yeah.
But are there opportunities for funding, like if I wanted Mona and Washuka and Damaris, the three biggest writers in Kenya, female writers,
Hallelujah.
to be specific, in Kenya, I wanted them to be on my production, but I can't afford you. Is there somewhere I can go? Like a donor, a foundation, or something,
You mean like you want us on the team of something you're writing, so you're looking for a development fund.
That's one.
Yeah.
That's one, for me to be able at least to bring in the best writers. But also if I want to develop myself, as an upcoming writer, is there a place I can go and get support from financially, other than the bank where I don't have money to start paying back alone?
The things that are happening now, I think, with a lot of the Netflixes and the Showmax and people who are coming on board right now, is that people are investing in helping bring up the younger generation. So I know, and I can't say what, but I know, I can't give specific examples, but I know of, say, let me just pick HBO, for instance.
Right.
HBO wants to come and do develop writers in Kenya. So a lot of them, they have all these labs, right?
Okay.
Where they'll say, come onto the lab and we'll help you come with an idea. So they'll ask for an idea. They will usually ask for something that you have done. So you can't be completely green at zero.
Okay.
Something you've done.
Okay.
And then, actually, why am I being, whatever, let me use Realness. Realness
Okay.
Netflix lab.
All right.
Right?
All right.
So you bring, we had a lot of young writers. Last year I was there as a development executive, which is we're helping the writers. You're attached to a writer,
Yeah.
and you're helping the writer come up with the best story that they have.
Okay.
So there's so many of those going on. Like for this particular one, my writer is she was very young, relatively new in the industry, but her name is Sandra. And she had a brilliant Nigerian, Sandra, a brilliant story.
Okay.
Right? So the thing is, after the 3 months of me and her working together, and she's bringing in her freshness and everything, and I'm bringing in my experience, and we get to talk to all these other amazing writers from, like, the ones I say, I'm just like, oh my God, blacklisted, I'm here. How is it me and you are talking in the same platform?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then a lot of writers are being grown that way. And the good thing with a lot of these programs is now that they're giving allowances to writers. So like for Realness, as an allowance, you're there for 3 months, you're given $2,000 a
Okay,
month,
great.
right?
Well, for what? What's the allowance for?
For you, because it's intense. So you're sitting there.
So it's for your time.
For not really your yes, because if you're there, then you're not writing another script.
Where can I sign up?
See, I will, see me behind the tent.
Okay, all right, yeah, I could do with $2,000.
But you see, exactly what you're asking is what has been plaguing writers, because writers are usually the very first thing that people do. That's the point where you don't even have money yet.
Correct.
So like, Mona, you write for me the script, I'll go look for money. But how many of those scripts can I write in a year?
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll find money. So I can sit there doing 12 scripts and only one is made. So for 12 months worth of work, I only get paid for 1 month. And that is
but
what
are you not paid up front? Like if I commission you and I
A
tell
lot
you,
of-
right, so as a producer, shouldn't it be my problem whether I
should.
get funding or not? So I've commissioned Mona. I've told you, write this film or whatever for me. How much? 50 bob. Okay, here's your 50 bob. Bye bye. If I need you again, we'll have a discussion.
That's how it's
Are you
supposed
telling
to.
me now that you're told wait?
Wangeshi, when has that ever happened? Okay, let me correct.
I just want us to educate the audience.
Yeah.
There are many people here who want to really get into writing, so they need to hear.
Yeah. So
Yes,
for me,
your experience. Yes.
people like me, Damaris, Volino Gutu, Oprah, people who've been here, there were Shukas, Mungai, Kiruka,
Yes.
people who've been here for a while. There
Yes.
comes a point where you're not just going to say, Mona, let me write the script for you. You write for me the script. I know Netflix is interested. Who Kombele will get money. Right? And we would do it. We would do it then because it was part of our growth. It's part of being in the trenches.
Yes.
And now, 9 out of 10, unless we're partnering on a certain level,
Correct.
and I know we've worked together,
Yes.
I'm not going to do that. So now I'll be like, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
My fee is this.
Yes.
I might half it because I see where you're going.
Yes.
But we're not going to do that anymore. But you're asking me about that young writer that's
Yes.
coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you don't even have the money to pay for yourself to learn.
Yeah.
Someone else is like, come and learn on my show. you're going to write the script for me for free, and maybe I may or I may not get funding. That's how writers suffer. And a lot of writers are going to do it, and I don't blame them for doing it. I did it because that's the only way to get my name out there. But you're never going to call a camera crew or a big catering, wardrobe, and tell them come and do my food for free on my set. And should we get money, I'll come back and pay you for your food.
Actually, no. Correction. My camera crew here today, let me be very honest, I'm not even paying them. We are collaborating on this.
But you're collaborating.
Yes, we are partnering.
You're partnering.
And I've said whatever money or whatever comes in, kila mtu anagawiwa yake iko. You know,
but you're
share,
partnering.
Because, well, I'm hoping they're understanding. You know, they are right behind the screen, so you guys can see them.
The cameras might get off.
But that really
off.
is the understanding, you know, that we have.
Yeah. But you're partnering.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
For writers, usually that doesn't happen. Because at the end of it, it's not collaborative that money is going to come in and we'll split. For writers, especially the ones, me not now, the ones who are starting out, you'll give that script and it may or it may never get done. But you see, Wangechi, you sitting here, you're spending your time. And you're spending your energy.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
You're spending money on this as well. Whatever little bits that you're spending.
And I'm spending now your time.
Yes, well, we are happy to be here.
Yeah.
But you see, for a writer, it's only the writer that sacrificed the time that they've made to write that 90 script page.
So it's different when it comes to writing.
It's been different.
Okay.
It's been different.
Okay.
So like what
is
you're
there
saying,
anything to change that?
Well,
or it's just a commission, pay up front, and then if there's anything to be done after, if it goes into production, then let's partner.
Yes.
But before
the thing is, producers, directors need to understand, because for them, intellectual property is very hard to quantify. Right? So they need to understand that this is a service like any other service. Even if this writer is 19 years old and it's their first script, there's a tendency for us to not feel like I am wasting a writer's time because they're sitting in their house. Whereas if I'm calling my crew out for 30 days, I'll feel a certain thing like I need to give back to these people. I see you fed your people here. I'm not getting fed as a writer in front of that's my money that I'm using to feed myself. Right? So we need to be kinder to the writers, especially the ones that are starting out. That 1 month they use doing your script for free, they could be doing something else with that time. Even if you don't have the money, something.
And there is this, I see we are running out of time, but I've always had people say, including myself, let me just, be honest, that our stories, especially are very weak.
I agree.
We have very weak storytelling.
Yes.
Let me talk about Kenya specifically.
Yep.
Could that be one of the reasons why? Because we are maybe taking advantage of the talent and the skills that we have?
And we're not pouring back enough into it. Another thing why our stories are weak is when Geshi will wake up today, when I need a biography, I need it by next week on Friday.
You're rushing the creative.
Yes, and maybe you are paying me and nobody has offered to pay me.
Yeah.
And you say, I'll give you 20K.
Right.
I'm going to put something together and give it to you. And I'll even tell you, I need an extra so many. No. And this is like now, like Tosh and I have finally worked that relationship out, because I would tell him, like, Tosh will be like, Mona, we need this thing and we need this thing in like 4 weeks or whatever. And I tell him, Tosh, this is going to take 2 months.
Right.
No. We don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, okay.
Then give me somebody else.
No. I'll say to Tosh, this was a learning process, like a relationship.
Yes.
I tell him, fine. Week 4 happens. You know what? When Tosh is calling me, it's not ready.
Yeah.
So Tosh starts getting mad because if I said 4 weeks, my
yes,
fault.
You
I
committed,
said 4 weeks, I committed.
Yeah.
I'm getting stressed because Tosh is now upset.
Yeah.
So the thing that could have taken me an extra 4 days is going to now take me more than that 2 months. You see? Because we've not given it. But now we've learned that relationship. I'll tell him, Tosh, honestly, I need 2 months.
Right.
And he'll tell me, Mona, a real 2 months. And I'll say, a real 2 months. And that thing will come out in the 2 months, because what I have told you I need is what you have given me.
Right.
I might be late. The last time I handed in like 4 days early, I was so excited. Because he gave me the time that I asked for.
I beat the clock.
It has never happened.
Yeah.
I was so excited. So it's really just, we need to understand writers more, and we need to be kinder to them, and we need to realize that they need that same money that you're paying your crew when they're doing their creation.
So it goes both ways, right?
Yes.
Directors, producers, basically everybody within the same ecosystem, we need to understand each other
more,
because we are all feeding from the same pot.
Yes.
Or rather, right into the same pot, whatever it is. So if I don't deliver on time, it affects your work. But then again, if you're giving me a short timeline, then I'm going to deliver very mediocre work because now you've taken away the time
Or I want
for
to
me to
deliver.
have done it better.
Or
right?
I want to deliver.
Or yes,
Yeah,
or I
'cause
won't
I'll
be able to
freeze.
deliver.
But the writers freeze very easily.
And guess what does that mean for you as a producer? You lose time.
You lose time and you
even
lose
lose
money.
and
More money than
crew,
what you'd have
exactly.
paid me.
So we just need to understand
Yeah.
also the writer's position. Let's not rush it. These are the things that I'm just, taking notes, mental notes. So let's not rush the process, the creative process. Let's give writers time. Let's involve writers in on set.
On set, yes.
During the process.
Yes.
It's not just about you've done your work, go away.
Yeah.
Because this is still a story that you put together.
Exactly.
So it would be nice
Yeah.
to also have that involvement.
Yeah.
And then also,
For writers,
yes.
let's also be people of our word.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Be somebody of your
Yeah,
word. If
yeah.
you can't do it, say you can't,
Say you can't do it. But if you
can't
commit-
meet, if you commit,
Even if you're killing yourself,
yes,
do it. I'm guilty of this, and I'm also still learning that.
Yeah.
If you commit,
yeah.
do it.
We all go through these pitfalls. And one last thing, Mona, payment-wise, are writers paid well?
Which ones?
Well, okay, does writing pay? maybe
Writing
yes.
pays.
Okay.
Writing pays very well.
Okay.
So again, it depends on what an industry you're in,
okay.
who you're working with.
Yeah.
But writing pays very well. I do writing 100%. There's nothing else that I do. Could it pay? It can pay very well.
Yes.
But we're not there yet with our writers. I think writers are still largely shortchanged. Most writers are largely shortchanged. And that is something that needs to be. I mean, this is the bane of our industry anyway.
Yeah.
But can writing make you some good money?
It can.
Absolutely, it
It's
can.
a
But
can.
we need to consistently move towards that so that people can live off their writing. That's what
Absolutely.
it's supposed to be.
Is
That's what it's
there
supposed to
like,
be.
do we have like a writers guild or association here in
There
Kenya? Or
is,
union?
but let me
Oh,
not
there
speak
is?
more on that because
Why you're still forming it?
no, I'm not in any guild. Another thing, I'm not. It's
Why?
there, it exists.
Okay.
But again, another thing about writing is sometimes you can get so involved in the thing that you're doing that you don't look up. So I haven't looked. I know
Oh,
it's there, but I
okay.
can't speak to
But
it.
wouldn't it be beneficial,
Um,
numbers? The more
It
numbers,
is.
the better it is, especially when it comes to lobbying
Yeah.
for policies.
Yeah, it is.
and-
But you see, most of us are introverts, right? So what do introverts do? So that is something else, a challenge for us as writers to stand up and step out more
Okay.
and come together.
The
You're right.
screen is your...
Yeah, we are
Okay,
there.
okay,
When I leave my
okay.
house, I'm feeling irritated. Why am
Right.
I? Wangeshi has called me, no, but this I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
But a lot of writers don't do this. So we need to also come out more. We need to speak out more. We need
Yeah.
to realize that nobody's doing us a favor
Yeah.
by hiring us. We are working together, all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and build your reputation
Yes.
as a writer. Build your reputation. You have a name, the phone calls will come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now at the beginning of this, we said V for visa. So
B for Visa.
so
the
you
Visa
need
series.
to look out for that
Yeah, on Amazon.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
But they're also hard copies if you're in Nairobi, or you
Right
stopped
now,
doing hard
no,
copies?
but you
Oh,
can get
But
hard
I've got
copies
one.
from-
I can sell you. I can sell you mine at 10 times more.
There you go. And it's not
What
about
I got
two,
it
isn't
for. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
before we wrap up, I see we have run out of time. As you can see, she says writers are introverts, but she's clearly not an introvert.
I am.
Right? She's got the gift of the gab. She's really been running this conversation. So at the beginning of the show, I asked you to send in your comments, suggestions, ideas, thoughts, whatever it is. And so I'm seeing a few here. Of course, no names will be mentioned. But one says, Mona, exciting information about writing. I never thought of it that way before. This is clearly an eye-opening discussion. So, yeah. The other one also says, totally agree, writers need to be compensated better.
Yes.
Take our work seriously.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Because even when you look at a story, what does a story start with? It's the
Writer.
writing.
That's why the writers
Right?
in the States went on strike that one time.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's just be serious about this. The other one says it would be nice to see at least some policies put in place as to how writers can be protected from their work, especially when it also comes to copyright. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Copyright
Yeah.
as well. But if you've been commissioned, that's not your copyright.
It's not.
You've sold,
you sold your
Still.
IP. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But if it's yours, then yes, absolutely. So, Mona, Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Had
That
a
hour went
wonderful.
very quickly.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you. And you know what? We haven't even exhausted the conversation. So that means I'm going to have to bring her back.
Yes, talk about
Again.
marital status.
She refused to answer that, but it's okay. Let me not put her on the spot right now, but that's her homework. You've got homework. When you come back, that is what we're going to address first. Yes. So, Mona Ombogo, people, thank you so much for joining us on Afri+CAN every Sunday live at 3 p.m. Please tune in live to our YouTube and Facebook page, but we'll always share the recording later with you. But it's important when we can engage and interact, at the same time in that moment. Please share, spread the love, hashtag Afri+CAN, hashtag Afri+CAN podcast. It's right there at the bottom of your screen, and you can also WhatsApp us. It doesn't have to be now. Even during the week, you can always send us your comments and your thoughts. It's been lovely spending this time with you, and I hope to see you again. My name is Wageshi Murage, signing off.